Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're listening to this, welcome to our podcast, Hidden Points, where we
share our hidden points related to career services, professional development, and how you all can succeed in your careers.
That was good. My name is Kevin Huang. I am currently one of the career coaches for the Career Center here at University of North Texas, specifically focused on the College of Health and Public Service. So I serve students with the majors of criminal justice, emergency administration, disaster planning, nonprofit leadership studies, and urban policy and planning.
And I'm another career coach here at UNT. I am based out of the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, and I specifically see students who are studying media arts, so kind of working on a set similar to this, or students who are pursuing like Converge Broadcast Media, so working in TV production, news broadcasting, all of the above.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of career coaches throughout the Career Center and for the university to support our students on campus as much as possible because, we all deserve a way to advance in our career and trying to develop ourselves as professionals. So we offer that chance and ability to advise students as well as other folks, alumni as well. So trying to provide opportunities and resources for everyone in general.
Yeah. And just a brief disclaimer, it is Halloween. So we don't dress like this all the time. But by the time you all watch this, it'll probably be like well into November.
Yeah, you can notice the pumpkins. I'm dressed as a Gryffindor on set right now. And, we had a little bit of a Halloween bash earlier, but...
We did.
Happy Halloween for folks who celebrate it. If not, and you're seeing this later,
Happy
Halloween next year because it's already over and Thanksgiving or harvest break is coming up soon. So
yes.
Yeah. Excited to talk a little bit more.
Perfect.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about the Career Center in general, our resources, our services, introduce it because this is a new avenue for bringing the Career Center onto a different platform. So
it is.
We haven't had a podcast in this capacity for career services, so we would love to bring this to all of you. And if you're already listening to this, that means you love to digest information through a podcast format. I know I do.
Yes.
I know Maya does. And
yes.
I specifically also listen to it during my commute. So, it's just a really good time.
Right. And I typically listen to like comical podcasts. So we'll try to kind of incorporate a little of what we like in our favorite podcast into this. We'll try not to be too serious and kind of, showcase a bit of our personality with each episode. You all will kind of learn who we are, kind of understand us a bit more, but we are here to help y'all at the end of the day.
For sure. So I guess a little bit about, we can talk about ourselves and our journey and understanding where career services has been a part of our lives because it's different for everyone, right? And obviously with the University of North Texas, we've revamped the career services kind of functional area and tried to expand on it because there are a lot of new hires. I'm a new hire. Maya's a new hire for the space. So They're trying to kind of evolve what it means to help students through their career path. And that includes investing and hiring a lot of career coaches and a lot of staff. We are probably almost 50 people strong now and continuing to grow as much as possible.
Yeah. Literally and we're going to try to, have guests who are other career coaches so you can see more of, our faces, but there's a really big team that we are a part of that we're grateful to be a part of, and a lot of amazing career coaches who all have just really great things to share and great helpful insight. It won't just be us every, episode. We'll have guests. We'll even have guests who are employers, so they can share some of what they know for their industries. It's going to be a great experience.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. And thank you to you all for listening in. So today we're going to talk about our experiences kind of going into undergrad, grad, and also in our careers in general. And talk about our experiences with career services, right? So Maya, you want to talk a little bit about your experiences kind of going through the system and trying to figure out what work or even like the future looks like or will look like for you?
I would say my professional journey was obviously everyone's is different, but I got my bachelor's in communications and I wanted to kind of take the digital media route. I had very minimal experience in that, and I never actually got to enter that industry because as soon as I got my bachelor's, which was in 2020, during the pandemic, I went right into grad school, which was for a totally different industry.
Right.
So the bulk of the experience that I got in communications was during undergrad and student orgs, but it was also throughout my grad school experiences, like part-time jobs, like doing copywriting, technical writing. And so even throughout grad school, my program specifically provided me like a job throughout the whole 2 years. So I never, in that sense, had to worry about like work, but I've always been curious about what the industry would be like for my bachelor's. And so even in undergrad, when I was kind of navigating that realm, I visited the Career Center maybe once, and they referred me to Handshake, which you'll hear us talk about a lot. Handshake is the online job bank for all colleges and universities, and it's for students who are in school currently looking for work. And so I remember my undergrad Career Center referred me to Handshake, but they didn't really, I guess, promote their services as highly as they could have. And I didn't meet with anyone like we do with students right now as career coaches. So I just remember feeling like, okay, I just need to look for a job here, and that's where it starts. And I did find a lot of jobs. I didn't have the best luck, and it could have been for a number of reasons, but that was kind of my experience with the Career Center. And now being a career coach, I have so much more appreciation for what we are doing here at UNT, because we are not just, introducing students to our services and leaving them to their devices. We really kind of walk with them through the whole process. So that's kind of what my experience has been.
No, that's great. And I mean, it sounds like you had a pretty decent experience connected to the Career Center. I mean, obviously you're working professionally as a career coach still. So that means they had an impact somehow, right?
They did.
And that's super exciting to hear.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I'll be real with you all. I didn't know a Career Center existed in undergrad or even, kind of in grad school, but I wasn't connected to the Career Center. I'm a first generation college student with parents who didn't go to college, obviously, since I said first generation, but they didn't have the resources or understanding of all of these things that could have been a part of searching for a career or a job. And even the prospect of looking for a job in high school, I didn't even really think about it. And I just kind of went to college and kind of figured it out on my own. I mean, first I started off as a criminal justice major. Well, it wasn't called criminal justice, but it was called criminology in my college. And then I was like, I would love to be a CSI investigator and kind of figure out what murders are. Maybe I like true crime or something, but eventually that didn't interest me as much. I switched majors a couple more times, whether it be finance and then accounting, and then landed on graduating with an economics degree, which I don't fully utilize anymore, but it's okay because I went to higher education for graduate school and found my calling and passion there, my motivation there. And throughout that process, not once did I meet with a career coach. Maybe it was just not advertised as well. It wasn't as connected to kind of our students during that time because I graduated undergrad a little bit ago. So I think it's definitely revitalized and revamped in a bit in how we offer it, especially due to COVID and the pandemic, right? Trying to figure out what career and what life goals really meant to us, because time can, suddenly be taken away. Right?
It got away from us.
Right, exactly. Like we were just stalled for a moment because we couldn't function as a society due to, a pandemic.
Right.
So anything could happen in the future, and I think it's important to find things that you're really passionate about, and that's why we're here as career coaches. And also what I wished for, I think, in the past, instead of like taking time and years to figure out, what do I actually want to do? Like, what am I good at? What can I go towards during my vital years in college. That's something that I wished someone could have told me about, like a mentor or something like that. But
Right.
you know, I didn't have that until later on. Like once I got into grad school, I was like, oh, there's a path for me. I met like a career coach and figured out what they did, and now somehow I'm a career coach too. So I think
Something worked in the
something
journey.
worked in the journey, and
Yeah.
it allowed me to see ways in which I could help support, you know, everyone out there, whether it be the community here in Denton or DFW or even just UNT as a whole for students. So offering these opportunities and offering these resources and just having this contact with folks, I
Right.
think really improves our ability to help just, you know, find a job, find their passion right outside of undergrad, because it's going to be tough,
is.
especially with higher competition, you know, a lot of folks looking for a lot of similar jobs. So it's just going to be a lot of competition.
Yeah. No, I agree. And definitely something somewhere within your journey worked to bring you here. Because everyone's journey is different. You know, when we first went to school, we didn't, you know, pick a degree with the intentions of being a career coach. So
Right.
somewhere along the journey, we had a mentor, whether it was a family, a friend, someone that kind of, you know, helped us along the way. And I think our personal success stories with our journey is also what brought us here, because you know, we found something that worked for us that we essentially want to share with students. And that's the beauty of just what we do, really, is that, you know, we get to share our hidden points, which is like our personal secrets,
go.
our personal tips and tricks for what has worked for us that we know could work for students. And obviously, everyone's industry is different, so we do have to keep that in mind. We have to keep the job. Not industry, but keep the job market in mind, because it's constantly changing.
Right.
So we just want to be as transparent with you all as we can in sharing what we think is most applicable to your situation, whatever that may be. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the top things that we do, and providing support for students on campus and alumni as well, is to meet with you all and just have, you know, a sit down, one-on-one conversation and figure out, hey, why are you here? What do you like? And how can we get to that? How can we achieve
Right.
that goal? And what steps can we take for that? Obviously, we won't do everything for you, but we're here to advise you
won't.
in a really. we won't do everything for you. It's, you know, it's a part of it and
Yeah.
a part of the journey to do the work and put the effort in. But we're here every step of the way to help you through that process, whether it be creating resumes, develop, like figuring that out, and, you know, reviewing it, editing it.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Cover letters. I mean, that's also a lot of information, and trying to
Yeah.
figure out where you fit in the grand scheme of things with this job that you're applying to. Mock interviews is something that we really
Yes.
do. I know I'm doing a whole day of mock interviews tomorrow,
Yeah.
specifically for criminal justice students, and that's gonna be a
Yes.
long day. But I know, and I've already done a lot of mock interviews with students, that they find that
Helpful.
very
Very
helpful.
helpful.
And just having that practice and just getting that third party perspective of how you're answering questions and how you're being portrayed as if an employer was looking at you is very, very helpful.
Right, because you don't want to get in an interview and ramble. You know, you don't want to talk too much. You don't want to talk too little. You definitely need that practice. One method that you've probably heard before that works for practicing for interviews is like recording yourself, which, you know, it's kind of scary, just like we're being recorded right now.
Yes.
So that can be a scary feeling, but it helps to see yourself in action, and then it helps to have someone on the receiving end so that you can, you know, see what areas you need to improve in, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where we offer that information on the spot. There's other resources we have on our website as well, like Big Interview, where you can
Yes.
just record
Our
yourself.
favorite.
Our favorite, Big Interview. It has interview tips and opportunities for you just to, you know, practice as students, and students get this for free and access to it. So
Yeah.
and then you can even send us your responses and say like, hey,
What did you think?
Yeah, what do you think?
Do you have
And-
any feedback?
Exactly.
How can I improve answering this specific question? Because some questions are easier than others.
Yes.
So you definitely want to practice those like harder questions,
Mm-hmm.
those questions that might be like have two questions in one. So yeah, you can send all of that to us. We do also provide free business cards in the Career Center, which you can order on our website, and you'll receive an email to pick it up when they're ready. You do get about 60 business cards, which will last you a long time.
all
I
free?
feel like enough to last you a year.
As long as you're a student, it's all free.
It's
so
all
we just have a
free.
lot of resources that we haven't fully introduced to everyone, right? And maybe you haven't heard of it. Maybe you did hear about it during orientation or something like that and forgot about it. So
Right.
that's why we're trying to, mention these again, because
Yes.
we find that it's very useful and might as well take advantage of as many resources as possible
Yes.
so that you can just have the highest success rate to get where you want to be, right?
Everything you need. We do also have the suit up closet where you can rent professional attire if you're kind of just starting out in that sense and you don't know where to start in terms of what to wear. The typical business casual work outfit is changing daily.
That's
daily.
true. I
We
mean, look at me right now. I'm like
literally
business casual Gryffindor, right?
Right.
So,
And we get a pass because it's Halloween, but our office attire, I feel like a good chunk of our department loves sneakers, and that's kind of being incorporated into, corporate America.
that's
honestly.
true. I see it all the time.
Yeah. So, we help with that. We also help with, what else? Business cards.
Career fairs. I mean,
Career
we
fairs,
have career fairs
yes.
throughout the semester, throughout the year. Very specific ones too. One of our largest was the business career fair. That probably
That is
gathered like 1,200 students. It was
the
overbooked.
biggest turnout.
It was hot. It
Not
was
overbooked.
crowded.
Yes.
But there are a lot of employers that come here and just
Yeah.
come here to literally meet everyone and try to find a candidate that might be their future, staff member, right?
Yes.
And that's really important because we offer these face-to-face opportunities for you all to, get your name out there, put your foot in the door
Yeah.
and be like, hey, I'm looking for a job after undergrad and this is me.
This is who
right?
I am.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's really hard to apply on a website. Handshake is a primary one that we use,
Yes.
and then you just submit your resume, your cover letter, but you're just a name out there with information on a resume, right, on a sheet of paper,
Like everyone else.
like everyone else, but you don't get that, hey, my name is blank,
Right.
nice to meet you, I would love to be a part of your company, right? And that's what our career fairs offer as a really good service to be there, right?
Yes. And if you're, if you have social anxiety or you just aren't a fan of talking to people, those career fairs make a big difference in, getting your face out there. But we can also help with the elevator pitches because that can be a scary concept and, knowing like how much do I say, what do I even say in like such a short time frame, especially when you have other students lined up behind you.
Right.
So we help with all of that. And, it's also good practice for just later in your career when you're, talking to employers, whether it's for a job, whether it's for networking, like at a career fair. So we prepare y'all for all of that. The best piece of advice we would give is probably not to wait last minute to prepare for that, for those career fairs.
Right.
So we can help you, leading up to them. But every career fair we have one semester, we always have the next. We do also provide free headshots along with the business cards. Half our career team, we took our headshots at the Career Center, and they turned out amazing. So you can have access to that service for free as a student, and then also just additional like resources on the website to help with your cover letter, specifically with the verbiage that goes on your cover letter. If you're not a fan of writing, there's literally everything that you need on the website.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's a lot, right? Obviously, we mentioned a lot of information, and you can always come to us for questions. Like, we don't want this to be intimidating or, a struggle to meet with someone, even if it might be intimidating to meet with a stranger who you haven't met. But
Yeah.
all of us as career coaches are here for you all, to support you all, and to support folks to just succeed, right?
Right.
And just like meeting with your academic advisor, they're here to help you with your academic plan and figure out if the courses you're taking are the right ones and if that's okay, right? We're here for your career development plan and trying to
Yeah.
figure out what that professional journey looks like for you.
Right.
So,
And we even want to hear, your transparency throughout your journey. So, like, if you're struggling, let us know, because then we can reassess what we need to do different. If you, gained or secured an internship or a job and you've been looking for so long, still let us know, because we like to hear that, you were successful in your search and that you're no longer looking. And that just, makes us happy at the end of the day, because it lets us know that we're doing something right, and that what is working for you will essentially work for other students. We definitely don't want to just meet with you once, help you with whatever it is you needed help with, and then kind of send you on your way. Like, we want to keep in touch with you throughout the journey,
Right.
so that, we can hear that you are successful. I received a testimony today from a student I've been working with, who told me that he finally got a full-time job.
Ooh,
And
congrats.
that was the best news I could hear all day, probably going to be the best news I hear all week. But those are the things we like to hear, that they were successful, and that now he can jumpstart his journey and be the very best person he can be. He was a media arts student and super talented, and we want that to be the case for everyone. We don't want anyone to feel like they've came to us or they've used our services and it didn't help them in any way, shape, or form. We want to hear that, what we have to provide at UNT and within the Career Center is working for our students and setting them up to be successful.
Yeah, for sure. And that's essentially what we're here for. We're here to support you all. We're here to make sure that you're okay. Even if it is intimidating, it's scary.
Yeah.
It is scary, right? Finding a job, finding your future, figuring out whether you need to be involved, finding an internship. All of these things we help to provide. And just as a Career Center in general, we help to support, right? Because we do have internship specialists. We have employer services
do.
team if you're looking for on-campus employment
Yeah.
and other opportunities. So we connect you whenever possible. So like that, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, try to reach
Yeah.
out to your career coach. It's on Navigate.
Yes.
That's important. So if you don't
We
know,
didn't mention that at
we
all.
didn't mention it,
Yes.
but you know how you schedule appointments with your academic advisors or even money management on campus. We are also on Navigate, listed
Yes.
as a career coach, and you can directly make an appointment there.
Yes, we should. Your assigned career coach based on your major should pop up on Navigate. So you should hopefully not have to search hard for them. We should pop up there. It'll hold you accountable when you make an appointment with us. It helps manage your time, your schedule, but we also don't want to take too much of your time. So usually appointments range from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on your preference and what that career coach is providing. So yeah, you can make appointments with us. Some coaches do host drop-ins. We do have drop-ins with our peer ambassadors, which are our part-time student employees. So there's always going to be someone available to meet with you wherever you are.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, sounds good. I guess just a little bit of housekeeping stuff. We're running a little bit out of time, but it's okay. Stay tuned for more, right?
Right.
But some upcoming things. I think a big event that's coming up soon. We do have an education career fair. I don't know if
Yes.
you'll hear this or see this by the time that comes out, but it's okay. I've mentioned
might
it,
have
right?
happened.
It's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
So you might hear this or you might not, but
Yeah.
it's okay. But we do have our all majors career fair coming up. I have the time up here somewhere in my pages, but that's going to be November 9th on Wednesday from 1 to 4 p.m. in the Union. You can check that out on Navigate as well, right?
Yes.
No, Handshake.
Handshake.
Don't check that out on Navigate. Check it out on Handshake.
Handshake.
That's going to be a huge career fair where everyone's there. There's going to be around
Yes.
150 employers. So if you're
All
really looking
majors.
to meet folks and try to get your future ready, go to that career fair.
And you can find the list of employers there on Handshake.
Yes, on Handshake. Handshake is your best friend. It's our best friend too. So
Yes.
so I think that's
Yeah.
it for today. Any other words, Maya?
I think we've covered everything. We're excited to start this journey with you all, provide more content with you all or for you all. And we're looking forward to it. Stay tuned for flyers so that you know where to check out our future episodes, upcoming events. And it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, tune in for our next podcast?
Yeah.
Podcast. This is a
Yes.
podcast / video.
Not an interview.
Not an interview. Tune in. All right. See you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.